Hello students, in this video we will try to understand what grid system is. As you can see the title, understanding Bootstrap equals to understanding Bootstrap grid. Grid system in Bootstrap is a very significant concept that allows us to understand how the web page can become truly responsive. First of all, let's try to understand what grid is. Grid is like a wall. Imagine the website to be a wall, and where we try to decorate the wall with various components like various things like a photo frame, a wall clock, a bookshelf, etc. etc. So this grid or the wall in our case is very important because based on the size of the wall we will decide what kind of or what dimensions the different artifacts or different things that need to be placed on the wall. So Bootstrap includes a responsive mobile first fluid grid. So that means the Bootstrap provides us with a grid system that is responsive. By the term responsive, I mean the grid is responsive to different screen sizes. Here it says that the Bootstrap includes a responsive mobile first fluid grid system that appropriately scales up to 12 columns as the device or viewport size increases. Okay. So you can imagine a 12 columns of invisible lines on a web page. Now these invisible columns, which are exactly of 12, will shrink and expand based on the screen size. So Bootstrap for this as well includes predefined classes for easy layout options. Okay. We will look at what all kinds of layout options we have and how the grid system works in the coming slides. Now, the main component of a grid system is the container class. Let us get back to the previous example of a wall. Imagine a wall. Okay. On this wall, we are about to place a few artifacts like a photo frame, a wall clock, a painting, a bookshelf. Now, we would try to not to occupy the complete wall on all the 4 dimensions. We would definitely try to use a finite space on the wall. Now, this finite space of a particular dimension can be treated as a container. So let us see what are the dimensions of this container and what are its characteristics, and first most importantly what kind of concepts or what kind of classes the Bootstrap has given us for this container. So this is the container class. So this is an imagined figure of how a container would look, or what dimensions does a container occupy on a browser. Okay, and if you can see, a container is the portion within the blue lines, and towards the left we have 15 pixels of padding, and to our right we have another 15 pixels of padding. So the area between this portion is the container. So the container class. Containers are the basic layout elements of any browser. They are by default present in any grid system. As you can see here, a containers can be nested. That means you can have another container within a container. And Bootstrap provides us with 2 types of container classes, that is one dot container and container fluid. We'll look at each one of them. The dot container class provides a responsive fixed width container. Okay, the dot container class is the dot container class is responsive, yet it is fixed. The width is fixed. Whereas the container fluid class provides us with full width container spanning the entire width of the viewport. That means the container fluid class will adjust itself to the screen width of various devices you are about to open the browser. So, these are the details of, or you can say these are the dimensions of a container based on the screen sizes. You have the screen sizes extra small, small, medium, large, extra large, and these are the various grid behaviors based on the sizes. So, if you want to imagine the Bootstrap grid, this is how it looks like. Under the class container, you have rows. Under the rows, you have the columns. Like I said before, a Bootstrap grid can be imagined to contain 12 columns. And here there is a note that says rows must always be placed inside a container. And here we have introduced columns of different sizes. In this case, I want to use column of small and I want to use only 5 of them. So, in the browser only this portion of the container will be used for a specific purpose, and the columns must always be written within the row or under the rows. Now, here we have two sets of columns. Okay. Under the container we have the row class, and under the row class we have a column class. Now, first column class has 5 columns in it and the second one has 7 columns in it. So, I can use my browser of 5 columns for a specific purpose and another 7 columns for another purpose. I may add a video, I may run a video here, I may play a video here, and I may use an image or an ad over here. Okay. So, the columns must be placed inside a row. This is the script. Then comes the interesting topic called auto layout columns. Okay. So far we have seen a container that is responsive and a container that is fluid. Now we will see how the columns behave. Okay. So far we have seen how to place a container, how to create a container class, and how the container can be divided into columns, how many columns are there, and we have seen how to use columns under rows and how to use rows under a container. Now we will see, can we manipulate, can we reshape, or can we do anything to the columns. As you can see here, I have used columns classes with SM, 3 of them. That means they small portions of columns for small screen sizes. Okay, this can be best, this can be explained with a best example. Imagine you have a tray. The tray is the container, and in the tray you have placed different items. For example, you have a piece of cake, you have a lemonade glass, you have another cup of dessert. Okay. So, all these beautiful dishes are on the tray. Now, if you want to place this tray on a small table, imagine if the tray has this pass to adjust itself according to the table. so that the items would show up perfectly. Same way, the grid has this concept called auto layout columns, where these columns adjust themselves based on the screen size. This explains the best. Imagine you have an extra small screen, the column will collapse. Collapse in the sense, the column will be shown one below the other in a vertical way, and this will occupy the maximum screen on the small screen. Whereas if you are looking at the same on small, medium and large and extra large screens, it will occupy the space horizontally. In the extra small screen, it will occupy the complete width of the screen. That was about the Bootstrap grid system. With practice, you will understand more and you will try to incorporate many classes related to the grid system. In the practicals, make sure you use the container classes, especially the container fluid class. Thank you.